Hi everyone, it's Kim, and today I'm here to share with you my design team projects for Kitty Scrap Post. I'm very excited about these projects because if you recall, last month I had done a Valentine box using Louisa's Heartbreak Kit, and this month I'm using the other Valentine kit, and this one is so beautiful and so shabby chic. It's called Love Struck, and so I really had a lot of fun with this, and I've created two projects, and I'm sure you saw in the photos what they were, but let me explain to you. And I'll start with my altered letter, which is right here, and I'm just going to move my camera up a little bit so you can get the top in. There we go, and I'm just going to adjust it slightly. Sorry guys. Okay, that'll work out better. Okay. So let me get started. So this is an altered letter M for a friend of mine, and I hope she doesn't watch this video. And it's paper mache, and I got this from createforless.com. I got several other paper mache items from there, and I've been really pleased with all of the pieces that I've got. So this is one of them. And of course you can see the beautiful, gorgeous Heartbreak paper right here in the background. Very shabby chic, very vintage looking, lots of pinks and teals, and very soft, pretty greens as well. and also some sepia tones and ivories and things like that. So really just colors that I really, really like. So I painted the letter in gesso all the way around, and took a couple of coats of gesso just to give it that white look, and then of course I cut the paper out and I put it on both sides, so this letter is double-sided. And after I did that, I went all around the edges with this very beautiful trim here. This is from Suafua on Etsy, and oops, it's caught. And I'm very, very happy with this beautiful soft blue rosette trim. So that goes all the way around. And then after I had done that, I just started to embellish, and I had a great time doing that. This is some more trim from Suafua, and that's just going down the side here of the M. And then up here at the top, you can see one of the beautiful Prima resin fairies, and a little metal tag here that says Explore. And then this beautiful, gorgeous chipboard wing here from Gina's Designs. And I used, I painted it white, and then I used the Stampendous Shabby blue on it, just to pick up some of the blue tones in the paper. And then coming over here, I've used a Tim Holtz Sentiment, and then another one of the little rosettes from that trim, and then a chipboard crown, which is also from Gina's, and I used the Shabby pink on it this time. And then here in the center, I've used one of the rub-ons that I got in my rack from Carrie. Hi, Carrie. And it says inspire and like the dictionary meaning. And it came out very faded. It didn't come out, I guess I didn't rub it hard enough, but I actually really like the way it looks, because it looks like it's in the background and that it's been on there for a while, so I really like that. So I added this inspire here. And of course the Tim Holtz Sentiment says enjoy the journey. And then down here, or over here on the other side, I've used a beautiful floral applique here. This was from my stash, and then another piece of the Suafua trim here. This is one of her rosette trims, and a wild orchid craft flower. And now here I've cut out a couple of pieces from the paper line as well. It's a beautiful lady who's dressed as Cupid, and it says love right here. And this butterfly as well. Sorry, my phone's ringing. 1 second. Okay, and I've cut out this butterfly as well. Just fussy cut it out because I thought it was so pretty. And I really love this piece here. It's got this vintage lady, but it also has another set of wings here on either side. So I thought that went well with the chipboard wing I had added. And then here I've added an Eiffel Tower in chipboard, which is another of Gina's pieces, and this one I used Shabby White. And this is just a little fleur-de-lis embellishment from my stash. I think that's from Recollections. And I've put some cheesecloth back here as well. And you can see it peeking out over here too. And then over here on this side I've used a Butterbee scrap metal piece and just a little blue flower. And then of course a little bit more of that rosette trim on the bottom. So that's basically that side. And then of course there you can see the side with the cheesecloth and more rosettes. Now here on the other side, because it's an M, you can do both sides because it doesn't matter which direction it's going in, so that was fun. So I decided to do both sides of this. I've used some of Gina's chicken wire here that I embossed with the Age Gold from Stampendous. And then I've got this really pretty velvet Prima flower. And then there's some blue trim here from my stash that goes all the way down, and then a bit more of that heart trim just coming across here. And then I've got this lovely wood piece here. This is from Carrie. Hey, Carrie. From Witchcraft. And this is one of her pieces, one of her wood sentiments. And then a key from my stash right there. And then some wild orchid craft flowers at the bottom. Now coming back up, you can see in the center I've used a beautiful script word from Gina's. And again, I used the same Shabby blue that I used on the wing, which is over here. And then I took this Butterbee scrap metal piece and I cut it in half. So I used half of it there and half of it up here. And then there's more of the beautiful Suafua trim there. Hey everyone, I'm back with my second project for Kitty Scrap Post, and this time I have created an envelope tag pocket. And I really, it's the first time I've made one of these, and it was so much fun doing this. And I was actually talking to a couple of friends in Skype, and we were talking about these one day, and we went and looked some up. So I got a lot of inspiration from Pinterest, of course, which there's just amazing stuff on Pinterest. So this is where I sort of drew my inspiration from, but of course this paper is so beautiful that it was just super easy and super fun. And I've created 3 tags that go in this pocket as well, so I'm sure you saw in the photos, but I'm just going to remove the tags for right now so I can show you the envelope first. So I'm just going to take those out, and I'll pop this back in. So this is the envelope itself. It's pretty large. I don't really know the dimensions. I kind of just, was winging it in the size department and just kind of eyeballed it. So let me see. There's 6, 7, 8, 9 inches by 6. Pretty good. So that's what the dimensions are. It's 9 by 6. And what I did was I took some of the more vintage-looking paper from Louisa's collection. And these have a lot of browns and soft pinks and very soft greens. And it already had some sort of envelope-inspired things going on, and I did add some, but there's the back. Let me show you that first, I guess. What I did was I actually sewed all the way around. This is actually a fancy stitch, so I'll show it to you on this side. It's probably a little easier for the camera to pick it up. I hope you can see the stitching there. Well, I hope you can anyway. There you go. So I stitched all the way around using a fancy stitch on my sewing machine, and I fussy cut out several pieces from the paper line, and I used again the same heart trim from Suafua along the top here. Then I took my 1-inch circle punch and just cut a little half circle there, and I put this really sweet little cherub from Craft Supplies 1 in there, and I've just got a paper doily in there as the background. And then I've put some vintage trim, and then I did a bit of inking on the inside just so it looks really old. So that's kind of what that looks like without the doily and the tags in it. And then starting over here in the corner, as I had mentioned previously, Louisa gives you pages and pages of these really great cutouts. So here I've used 2 of the sort of stamp ones that says Airmail, and then this mail stamp right here. So I cut those out and distressed them and used some vintage photo on them and put them in the corner. And then I also did some other stitching. You can see here it's sort of a zigzag stitch, just in random places throughout, just to give it more of a vintage feel, I guess. And then here in this section, I fussy cut out the 2 hearts, and then I sewed them together right here. And then I took this flourish from the Parisian set from Gina's Designs, and I used my I believe it's Ranger Verdigris. Yeah, it's Ranger Verdigris embossing powder, and I really love this stuff. It is the perfect green to pick up the greens in the leaves here. I couldn't believe how well it matched, and it just, not really a green person, but this worked so well. I just loved how it turned out. So it's really got that, aged feel to it. And then behind it, I cut out the fan from the paper, and then I gave it an accordion fold, as you can see there. And then I did the same thing. I distressed it and added the vintage photo ink to it. And then here I've got this beautiful mocha rosette flower from Suafua that I put behind it. So that's that section. And then coming over here, I fussy cut out this heart with wings. And then I did some more sewing going all the way around the heart in a heart shape. And then I attached it to the other heart that was already on the paper. And then I added a bit more of Suafua's trim here and a Wild Orchid Craft flower. And then I've got this beautiful bronze corner from Butterbee Scraps. And then in this area, I fussy cut the letters and the envelope, which is back here. right in there. And I sewed those two together. You can see the stitches right there. So that gives it some dimension. And of course I just dressed it and everything with the inks. And then I did another flourish with the same embossing powder with the coppers and the greens. And then I put one of these vintage doilies back here that I got from Julie from Craft Supplies 1 in my little Christmas presents. So I thought that worked out well there. And then coming along the front, I fussy cut out this piece that says Paris, distressed it, did the same thing. And then this was just a blank like label, so I took my Tim Holtz Paris stamp and just stamped it and then put those two things there that say Paris. So that's basically the front of the envelope. So it was pretty easy and really a lot of fun to make. I really love making these tag envelopes. Super fun. So let's get on to the tags. Like I said, I did 3 of them, so let me share these with you. So this is the first one, and these tags are from Gina's. She sells tags as well as chipboard, so I used those. And here you can see the beautiful paper behind once again, and this is the same kind of paper that I used on the letter M with the pinks and the blues. And this is another gorgeous cutout piece. It says Forget Me Not. And I've added at the top here some pink ribbon and some lace, and there you can see there's a couple more of those little rosettes that I used on the altered M and a pink rose, another pink rose there. And then I've used these chipboard banner pieces from Gina, and then I put Louisa's paper on top of them to create this little banner effect. And then I cut out another butterfly from the paper line. I also did a bit of stamping, but of course it's been covered up. You can see here there's a little Paris stamp there and the Paris stamp there. So it does get covered up, but you know, I know it's there. So then down here I've used some of this really neat trim. It's like wired sort of, but it's like a burlap, but bigger holes. I don't know where I got that from, probably from a thrift store, but I really like it. And then I've got some vintage millinery flowers that I've used here, some Lily of the Valley and some of these little millinery flowers here. They're all vintage, and mixed in with a few wild orchid craft flowers. And then I've got some laces and trims from my stash just to finish it off at the bottom. So that's that one. And the back is just more of the gorgeous paper. I left it plain because this paper is just so beautiful. Anyway, I did put a little stamp up there. But there you can get a good shot of what this paper is like. It's so, so gorgeous. These two Valentine kits that she's made I think are my favorite. I know I say that every month, but they're just so gorgeous. So this is my next tag, and again, this one is in pinks and whites, very, very shabby chic. I'll show you the back on this one first. Look at that beautiful rose. Isn't that amazing? Look how beautiful that is. And yes, I did put a couple of little stamps here and there. There's one there, and there's another one up here and over here. So I did do that, but so I've put some seam binding on the top here, and this is an angel I had in my stash, and I went over it with some texture paste, and just to give it a more aged look. And then I fussy cut out these letters that say love from the paper, distress them, and then here I've got more gorgeous trim from Suafua. It's a heart, so I thought that went well with this tag. And I've got a key here from Butterbee Scraps. And then some metal pieces here as well, and this little bird, resin bird, I don't remember where I got that from, sorry. This pearl trim is from Craft Supplies 1, Wild Orchid Craft Flowers, and more trims from Suafua, the little rosette and this trim here, which I love. It went so well with this paper. So this one is all in pinks and whites. Really pretty. So I love that one. And then last but not least is my gold and white Paris tag. And you can see this beautiful faded damask here. I added the Paris stamp myself. I can't remember which, I think it was, I can't remember which distress ink I used for that, sorry, but it's like a light greeny gold color. If anybody wants to know, just leave me a message. I'll get you the name of it. And I just stamped the Paris right there in the center, and then of course I've got my other stamps in the other spots here going just around the tag. The back of the tag has this really pretty, this is the other Cupid lady from the set. And again, I didn't do much because there's so much on the paper and it's so beautiful. I just didn't want to cover the back up, so I just left it. And I've got this beautiful lace here from Craft Supplies One going down the side on the back. And then at the top here I've got this metal piece from Butterbee Scraps, which I embossed with the Stampenda Shabby White, Wild Orchid Craft Flower, some seam binding from my stash here. And then these are trims from my stash. I think this gold one came from Lavish Laces last year, from my stash. And then this beautiful teardrop trim here is from Craft Supplies One. And then more of the beautiful Craft Supplies One beaded trim here. And the Suafua Mocha Rose, which I love these. Wild Orchid Craft Flowers, and then more of her heart trim as well. So those are the 3 tags, and they just fit nicely inside the envelope here. And what a great Valentine gift that would be for a friend, just to receive that. You know, that would be so, so nice. And you can put a paper doily behind it just to give it a bit, you know, a bit more shabby look. But, you know, how pretty to get that from a friend for Valentine's Day. So those are my 2 design team projects for Louisa, for Kitty's Scrap Post. And this kit, again, is called, yep, it is. Stand up. There we go. So this kit, she has 2 kits, as I had mentioned before. The other one is Heartbreak, which is the red and black and white, beautiful, beautiful paper. And this one is Love Struck. And so there's really a lot of diversity in the 2 different kits. So there's tons of diversity in the 2 kits. So definitely go and check out. And she's also got another one that just came out called Child's Play. And it is also really, really amazing. So the links to her shop are going to be below this video. And please let her know that I sent you, because I think you guys will be super happy. This is one of the best digital kits out there, I think. You know, and I've looked, and nobody compares to the creativity, the design, and the price, which is all important to everybody. So anyway, please do go and check it out, and I hope you're all having a wonderful week, and I will talk to you guys soon. Take care, everybody. Bye.